Chat. We'll be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, hang out, answer any of your snowboard questions, and yeah, just get caught up on what's happening with the channel and what's happening with you guys. So lots happening, lots to share. But not a ton of detail I can get into, but I do have some big things coming through soon with a snowboard sponsor for the channel. So I've been talking to a few different companies, just trying to work out what's the best fit, and hopefully I can tell you guys about that soon. Hopefully I can lock something in. And then there's also, if everything works out, there's also something even bigger to tell you guys about. So some potentially really big news that as soon as I get the confirmation, I'm gonna come on here and tell you guys, but nothing too much yet. In a few weeks, we're going to Austria snowboarding. So we're gonna be in Hintertux, Austria for 2 weeks, starting the last 2 weeks of October. So if you guys are in the area and if you guys can come out, it'd be incredible to ride with some of you guys. And this is kind of like the calm before the winter storm. Like, things are about to get very busy in snowboarding once everything starts opening up. So I'm still just kind of getting things ready. Normally I'd be putting out more videos on YouTube at this point, but there's just a lot of pieces kind of coming together. And I think once those pieces do come together, then we're gonna be like rolling with the videos, with the trips, and with lots of content for you guys. I'm going to plug in my headphones. Maybe this will make it sound better for you guys. Let me know. Got this little mic here. And then also been doing a lot of videos on TikTok and Instagram. So if you guys want extra content, I'm putting out a ton of videos on TikTok and Instagram, trying to do 3 or 4 videos a day. It'd be great to get your feedback too. If you guys want to see some of those short videos posted up on YouTube as well, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, but let's get into some questions, some shout outs. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about what's going on, if any questions about the upcoming season for yourself, buying gear, advice on anything, just hit me up. All right, so shout out to Adrian, InMotion SLB, Chuck Van, Jonte, JM, El Stacker Adventures, saying cannonball the like button. Thanks, El Stacker. We've got Lackey on here, RC5 asking any snow out west. I think there is some snow up in the mountains now. So we've been getting like a mix of rain and cold weather, and up on the mountains it's been snowing. All right, Lackey saying just finished up the season in Australia. We got Patster on here, saying he's riding mostly at Heavenly, Kirkwood, North Star for me. Amazing. Yeah, it'd be great to get down to the Tahoe area this winter. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in early. Yeah, shout out to Sauce, to all the moderators on the channel as well. Thank you guys for helping out. Sauce wants to know, is the GNU Rider's Choice a good board? Yeah, I think that's a great board. That's kind of like a good all-mountain park board. You can kind of do a bit of everything with that board, so really good choice. Terps wants to know, what do you think about bibs? Bibs are good. Yeah, I rode bibs for a few seasons, and they do like, the one nice thing about bibs is that as you're riding with your bib pants, like, it just, your whole like outfit just feels a bit like looser, and like you feel like a bit more free because there's not anything around your waist. You don't have like a belt on, and the weight I think is distributed a bit better. So riding with bibs is super comfortable. And then if you do fall in the powder, the bibs like help to keep any snow from going up your back. So that's really incredible. So bibs are awesome. Yeah, I recommend bibs for sure. All right, we got Carrie Pierce on here. We got Corto Fortnite. We got Elena. Old Man Shredder is on here. Thank you guys all for hopping on. Outflux wants to know, when are you coming back to London? No London plans at the moment, but yeah, London is pretty cool, so maybe get out there at some point. David Production saying he likes the mustache. Thank you. We got the first super chat coming in from Old Man Shredder. It says, hi y'all, DWCP shout out. I want suggestions for a twin board to buy with a pointy nose and a round or flat tail, like a Dinosaurs Will Die wizard stick. Thanks a lot. Wow, Old Man Shredder, that's like a very specific request. A twin board with a pointy nose and round or flat tail. Interesting. Honestly, none come to mind, but yeah, that wizard stick looks really cool. What do you have against the wizard stick? Maybe go with that one. Josh McKinney says, looking for a new board this year. Sloppy Groomers in Ohio, Some Park, considering Yes Greats, Super DOA, and Mercury. Man, all three of those are very, any of those would be great, to be honest. Emil says, any new boards for the 2022 season? So that is one thing I'm going to be talking to you guys about hopefully soon. Been talking to a lot of different snowboard companies. Just trying to work out a brand that I can partner with for at least one season. I know in the past, I've always ridden lots of different boards. But an issue that I've kind of come into is that I think now there's just people are hopping more onto the social media train, and with reaching out to YouTubers and people on Instagram, is that my email box is just getting flooded with companies all trying to send me gear. And I really don't have that much time to dedicate to 5 or 10 or 15 different brands trying to get all this different gear into the videos. And that's not really what my channel is about. The channel is more about showing you guys cool spots to snowboard, trying to make fun and interesting content, making tutorials, giving you guys advice on gear. But I don't want Snowboard Pro Camp just to turn into a platform where I'm selling 15 different brands of boards. So this year, I just want to try something different, go with one board brand and ride a few different models from that board, from that brand, and just try something different. So I'll have some new board, let you guys know about the new boards I'm riding soon, and also get some of the new outerwear. I need to get some new outerwear, maybe some new goggles, and go from there. So I'll keep you guys posted on all my new stuff shortly. Tom says, noob question, do you really need a beginner board, or are you better to get something you can grow into? To be honest, as a new snowboarder, it is better to just go with a beginner type board. So something that's inexpensive, something that has that combination of camber and rocker. The rocker just kind of makes it a bit easier to turn, because a beginner board isn't necessarily designed just for beginners. It's kind of beginner through intermediate, and could even be used by an advanced person. But by a beginner board, it just means that it's inexpensive and it's your first board. So if you are learning and you ding it up, and if you don't it's kind of like a board that will get you through a couple of years. And then once you kind of get the hang of snowboarding and know what style of snowboarding you really like, then you can buy your next board, which will probably be a bit more expensive and more specialized towards the type of snowboarding that you like to do. So for the first board, just go inexpensive, general board that can do a bit of everything, and then you can get more specific after a couple of years. I'm not going to read the whole name, but super chat from Bring says, ever been boarding in Maine? I have yet to be boarding in Maine. I've never been to Maine, but yeah, it'd be cool to get out to the eastern United States and then do some snowboarding around there for sure. Where should I go? Where should I go in Maine? What's some of your favorite spots? Miguel asking, are you coming to California this year? I hope so. Yeah, I would love to get back to Big Bear, back to Mammoth, back to Tahoe, back to all those different places. So I hope I do get to go. We got Curly Fries saying hello from Alaska. Awesome. Would love to get up to Alaska too. Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys, if you do ask a question or if you just want to comment where you guys are from. It's always amazing to see where everyone is from in the world. Outflux saying, you are the reason I started up snowboarding. No joke, your tutorial videos are what taught me everything I know today. That's amazing. That's so cool to hear. Thanks so much for checking out the videos, and I'm really glad they helped. Evan wants to know, a filming question. Do you just run your GoPro while filming on the mountain? Any problems with filming in the cold? Yeah, the GoPro has definitely been the most reliable. I feel like it's so versatile. You can get it wet, you can drop it, you can, pretty much do anything with it, and it's gonna continue to work. If it gets extremely cold, I've actually, to be honest, I don't think I've ever had, it's been a while since I've had an issue with the GoPro in cold weather. I think the last one, the GoPro 9, with the larger battery, it's actually made it a bit more durable through the cold. And those larger batteries actually last longer than the previous models did. So the GoPro 9 and probably the GoPro 10 with the larger battery, I think is fine through the cold. Maybe some of the older ones, I remember having a bigger, like more, I would take out the mountain more batteries with me. So I would take like 7 or 8 batteries. And then if the cold did affect the GoPro and made the batteries die early, then I would have like a bunch of backups. So that's the only time the batteries were affected by the cold is previous to the 9, and it was in severely cold conditions. And if you buy lots of spare batteries, then you should be fine. But I may also ride with some 360 style cameras this year too, either the Insta360 or the GoPro Max. We'll see how that goes. Malte says, have you ever been to St. Anton in Austria? We are going to St. Anton this winter. I have actually, yeah, I've been to St. Anton once for like, I think it was like a 4 or 5 days of snowboarding. And it was incredible. It was definitely like is still like the biggest place I've ever been riding. Like I remember looking at the trail map and it was like just 10 massive mountains all put together. It's one of the biggest places I've ever seen to go snowboarding. There's a small town in one of the areas that was really cool to walk through and visit. Some of the best gondolas, biggest, like steepest gondolas I've ever been in. And also some of the, like longest and tallest chairlifts too. So really incredible place, tons of wide open spaces. Just be careful when you're out there because you can definitely get yourself into trouble. So stay like on the runs and don't take any like weird risks unless you know like the terrain. We did do one run. I was there with TJ from Board Archive. And we did one run that was like the steepest and most like just gnarly looking run of my whole life. And like it didn't feel, if it was scary, and looking back on it, there was no dangers, but there's definitely some terrain there that is like just some of the biggest and steepest in the world. So one of my favorite places, and yeah, have fun, have a good time out there. Tons to explore. I'm sure every day you'll be going to new places. And really good pretzels. Pretzels with mustard are awesome there. Miguel says, if you have too much gear, please share some of it with us that don't have the best gear. Miguel, man, you're all the way in California though. If you're here in Vancouver, I'd give you some gear right now. But you're too far away, dude. Yeah, maybe let me know, guys, what you think too. Like, so I've been posting lots of short videos on TikTok and Instagram. Do you guys think I should post some of those on YouTube as well? Like 1 or 2 short videos a day? yeah, let me know what you guys think. The videos are between like 15 to 45 seconds, like short style videos. Let me know what you think. Yeah, Henry says, respect your hard work and dedication to not selling out. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's tricky because like in snowboarding, I do need all the gear to do it. And it's, I think the best thing is just to be as honest with you guys as possible. And it doesn't totally feel right to just be, to have companies sending me an endless supply of gear and then riding it and then talking to you guys about it. Because even when you get something that's free, it's still then tricky to be honest about, like have an honest opinion about it. Because if a company is going to send me something, what am I going to say, that I hate it or I think it sucks? Like it's a tough position. So I've always just tried to be honest with you guys, share with you guys gear that I'm stoked on. And I think a good way, like what I would like to do too, is partner with a company where I think the people that are behind it are kind of on the same level as myself and who are also stoked on the channel and what like we're building here too. So the type of content, the audience, I'd really want to, collaborate with a company who's also into that. Because I think in the past, I've probably, there's probably a company that sent me out a jacket or something, and they just send it out and they forget about it. And they're not into the channel. They're not into YouTube or like YouTube snowboarding. And so it's kind of, it'd be better to work with a company who's also just has similar goals, similar values, and a similar way of looking at snowboarding. Like the way that I look at snowboarding is that I want to, there's this like 5% of the snowboard world who's like the core audience, who's just like obsessed with snowboarding and, riding at a high level and professional and going to the Olympics and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of like a 5% segment of snowboarding. And I want to appeal and like reach out to the 95% of people that I relate to, just the everyday snowboarders who go up to enjoy it and who want to progress. So with not selling out, I think it's just about being honest and being transparent with you guys. And I think that's the best. That's the best for me. That's the best for you guys. And that's the best for any company that I work with. All right, we guys, super chat from Old Man Shredder, another one. He says, yes, short style too. Short style is cool on YouTube. Okay. All right. Thanks, Old Man Shredder. I'll take that into consideration. I'm leaning towards, posting some short style. The Wizard Stick is hard to get hold of here in Sweden. Okay. Though it seems a cool brand or cool board. Any thoughts on the Kilroy 3D? The Kilroy 3D is a cool board as well, but I think it is more, it's a very park focused board. I did ride it for one day. It was a good board. It's like a very camber dominant board with the 3D in the nose and tail. So I remember it giving me a lot of response. It was like a very good feeling board for sure. Yeah, the Burton Kilroy 3D. So it's like a great park specific board. I don't know if it has that same like rad design as the Dinosaurs Will Die Wizard Stick with like the pointy nose and flat tail. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's a pretty cool one too. But yeah, thanks for the feedback, Old Man Shredder. And super chat from Saturday Farm Stand. Thanks for the support. Says, did you give away your old blue Headspace board? I bought one to match yours, LOL. Missed that board. I did give it away, yeah. So we have in Whistler, there's kind of like it's called like the Reuse It Center. And I think I gave it away anyway. But I just had a stack of I think I had like 15 boards that were just sitting in my place. And I donated them to the like Whistler Reuse It, and then they'll resell them for like $50 or $100 or something cheap. So yeah, I did donate that one, but that was a really fun board. Yeah, the GNU Headspace. I think yeah, you'll love it, man. It's still one of my favorite boards for sure. Ben wants to know, how much should a person initially spend on gear to get into snowboarding? I would say you want to spend as little as possible. So start off like everything you get, just get something towards the low end. There's some things that you can spend more money on, but so for example, a snowboard, so in US dollars, between $300 to $350, boots and bindings about $150 to $200 each. So what does that add up to now? So it's like around $700 or $750. And then goggles, goggles you can probably get for $50 to $100. Jacket and pants, maybe a bit more, $150 each. So another $300. So I guess all in all, plus mittens, you could probably get some things like you might have some things lying around like mittens or whatever, but I guess around $1,000 US when it all comes down to it. If you maybe borrow some things off of people or get them secondhand, but most things, all the hard goods, you can probably get for around $700 to $800 hard good wise, accessories, and then a few $100 more. And you may already have a winter jacket or winter snow pants that you can use. Michael says, has Adidas confirmed that they are no longer making boots? I believe so. That's been the word, that Adidas isn't making boots anymore. So this year, I think I'm going to go back to Vans. Before Adidas, I rode Vans, the High Standard Pros, and those were my favorite boots up until Adidas. So try out Vans again. They were, so comfortable. And I'm going to make a video once I actually pick up the Vans and just explain to you guys why I love that boot so much. But I think the traditional laces is the way to go. The traditional laces, the way it wraps your foot, I think gives you like good performance, but also is just the most comfortable way to tighten your boots is just with the traditional style laces. And I think the Vans High Standard Pros too, they're not very stiff. They're like maybe like a 3 or 4 on the stiffness scale out of 10. And I think that softer flex helps a lot for preventing foot pain. Just soft boots that have the traditional laces, I think that combo is really good for preventing foot pain. And then if you need something that's a bit more supportive, I think you can get the support from bindings. I think bindings go a long way now with like supporting your foot and then making you feel good. But so if foot pain's an issue, if if you're looking for an inexpensive pair of boots too, I highly recommend the Vans High Standard Pros. And Adidas was great. I'm sad to see them leave, but maybe a company will fill their shoes, so to speak. All right, just gonna scroll back a little bit, catch up on a few other questions. JM, is there a video on the channel that you are no longer satisfied with and that you would like to film again? JM, I think like there's always, that's continuously happening. There was probably 20 videos that, there's around 20 videos that I've deleted off the channel that at the time I thought were good videos. And then after a few years pass by and you look back and you're like, okay, those videos don't cut it anymore. And so a few of those old ones have been deleted. But yeah, it's like every year I'm learning more about filming or improving my own snowboarding. And I want to go back and film. So there's not one that stands out at the moment, but to be honest, like I like every tutorial, every gear video, every vlog that I've traveled someplace too, like I'm always wanting to remake and do it better. So there's not one that's coming to mind, but I do want to make You know, I think that about all the old videos. Lackey says, Kevin, what's been the most recent innovation in snowboarding that really got you excited? Oh, good question, Lackey. I like that question a lot. Wow. I think it's the 3D shapes for sure. The 3D shapes in the nose and tail of powder boards specifically, because I think that in powder, when you were like rolling from turn to turn with like those uplifted, when you get the spoon shaped like nose and tail with like the uplifted edges, it really helps the boards to just like rock from turn to turn. So I think that is, I think that's a huge innovation, and it feels like it does make a big difference in the riding. It just feels so good when you're really like rolling through the turns. And then when you go back to a snowboard that doesn't have those 3D contours, you notice, you kind of feel that it's missing, and the board feels just a bit like clunky when you're rolling through powder and it doesn't have that smooth roll to it. You're kind of going from a flat base to a flat base through turns. So I think that is the biggest innovation for me. And I know that tech has probably been around for a long time, but it's only been the last few years where it's become really dominant across the industry and powder boards. So I would say that's the biggest one. Stefan says, do you ever do fan meetups? Yeah, I used to do them a lot more before all this like pandemic stuff kicked in. So last year in Whistler was only in Whistler, and it didn't feel like the right time to be doing meetups. But if I can start traveling again at like a normal pace and going to different resorts, yeah, I love doing the meetups, especially once the winter is in full force and we're down someplace. Like some of the best meetups I've had I've had some incredible meetups in Japan. So we're going to try to go to Japan this year and love doing meetups there. Also in the U.S., like down in, had an incredible meetup in Stevens Pass, Washington. So yeah, when the season's rolling and we're at some of those places that are like, it's always nice too in like a smaller resort where it's not, everyone's not so spread out. So if you do a meetup, like everyone knows kind of where to go. We did have a really good one in Mammoth, California, and Mammoth is actually pretty spread out, but somehow it all came together and we had like an awesome meetup with a bunch of people. One of the meetups we actually did too is in St. Anton, Austria, where I first met Engen, who's always on here. And that place is massive, but those guys managed to track us down and we had a super fun meetup. So yeah, more meetups to come, especially now that the traveling thing is becoming a bit easier. All right. We got Jose Bautista jumped on here too. What's up, Jose? Takwa E says, Kevo, thought about starting a separate review channel, Snowboard Pro Reviews. Takwa, yeah, that's an awesome idea. To be honest, the snowboard review is not quite my like niche. It's not totally my thing. I really do enjoy like doing a board review from now and then. So TJ at Board Archive, he's like doing an excellent job of doing board reviews, and he's like got them coming out like every week, a few boards a week. And that's like really his like niche, and he's absolutely like killing it. And so like I like to see TJ do it. I like to watch his videos. But for me, like I might do like a few like product style reviews a year, maybe one or two a month, but it's not really my like passion in snowboarding. So, but when I do find gear, I love sharing it with you guys, and I'll probably like squeeze it into like a vlog or like something else, just trying to highlight the features of a board or of like a boots or bindings, or talk about it in a live chat. But it's not quite my like I don't think I would have time to like dedicate to like another channel talking about that. But yeah, I like doing it sometimes. So you guys will still see it once in a while. But definitely check out TJ's channel, Board Archive. He's got the reviews coming out like weekly. So I'll leave it to him. We got New Board on here as well. What's up, New Board? Tom with the video request says a video of pack/mountain etiquette would be cool. Pretty sure I cut some people's lunch. Pretty sure I cut some people's lunch the first couple of times. LOL. I'm not sure what that means. Pretty sure I cut some people's lunch. Sounds funny. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some mountain etiquette stuff. I definitely try to, I'll try to drop some of that into some of the vlogs early season, just talking about, yes, mountain safety, mountain etiquette, park etiquette, things like that. I do have like a few videos in the past talking about it, but yeah, you always want to, like, when you're up on the mountain, just be riding in a way that doesn't ruin somebody else's day or as you say, cut their lunch. But yeah, that's a great idea. Henry saying, wait, there is mountain etiquette? Yeah, like mountain etiquette would be like, I don't know, not cutting someone off, maybe not going super fast past like a bunch of beginners, things like that. There's just like certain things that you just want to do to make sure that you're not scaring someone else or cutting their lunch or doing whatever. But yeah, it's just certain mountain etiquette things. All right, Lackey says, hey Kev, before you jumped on, we talked about how we'd like to see an old versus new board tech videos. Is that something you'd like to make? Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, some of the old versus new. Man, that can be like, it's like good and bad. It could be, because I feel like some of the old stuff is actually still better. Like that's why I like just like the traditional lace boots. I feel like that is still better than all like the new tech. But it's kind of like that. That's cool, like comparing, like a comparison style videos. Because yeah, you could do that with POW boards, comparing some of the non 3D boards to like the new 3D boards. Yeah, comparing like traditional laces to some of the new tie-up tech they have going on. So yeah, that'd be fun. Jose is saying people down the mountain have the right of way. Yeah, that's a big one in mountain etiquette for sure. Like I know a lot of new riders or people that are more casual. They're sometimes afraid of what's behind them because, they don't quite trust, I guess, the people coming up. But I feel like if everyone, in the front has the right of way, it makes people like, yeah, when you're just going down, you only have to focus on what's in front of you. And that's a big part of mountain etiquette, not coming flying from behind and like getting too close to people. That's a big one. Sean T says, is there a 3D park board on the mountain now, or on the market now? Yeah, there's lots of different 3D park boards. So Battalion, all of their boards are the 3BT. Yeah, Burton has a few 3D park boards out, like the Kilroy 3D. I think the Jones Mountain Twin, I think is 3D, but then they also have the Jones Mind Expander Twin. So lots of different park board oriented boards that are 3D. Chuck Van says, we all must learn the way of the mountain to stay safe out there and prevent collisions and snow rage incidents. Yeah, the snow rage, that's a bad one. You want to avoid the snow rage at all costs. DM says, will you be making a 21-2022 gear setup vid? Definitely, yeah. So in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna be like assembling all my gear for the upcoming season, and we'll be making a video about it in Austria. So that will happen. That video will come out towards the end of October, or middle to end of October. So soon. And yeah, every year I think my gear list is starting to become more and more, I guess, like I'm just finding better gear. So I'm really stoked, like every year, just getting that list out to you guys and trying to recommend the best gear. And but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how the pieces lie with what's happening and what gear I'll be on. Austin says, what's the best advice for visiting Blackcomb in Whistler? Best advice. So I actually just put up a video on TikTok from like a day in the life of riding on Blackcomb Mountain. And the one thing, so is definitely you want to get to the lift early. So the lifts open at 8 a.m. And if it's a powder day, at least last season, a powder day, the line would start forming at 6. So I'm not saying you have to get there for 6, but get there early. Like definitely, if you can get there an hour before the gondola opens, that's going to give you a good chance to get to some good areas. But yeah, Blackcomb, I would say just explore. Stay as high on the mountain as you can. So like Seventh Heaven Chair, Glacier Chair, Crystal Chair, some of those different ones, and just explore. Do it safely. Like don't go into trees where you don't know where you're gonna come out the other side. But yeah, just go exploring, and you can even like talk to people too. Like ask if you're on the chair with somebody who's a local, you could ask them like, oh, what's the best place to go today? Or even talk to one of the safety patrollers. If you see one of them standing around, you can just go up and ask them like, oh, what's going to be opening next? Where should I head today? Any advice? And that can help too. So yeah, Blackcomb, get there early, go explore. One of my favorite chairs is Glacier Chair. And then from there, you can go up a T-bar called the Showcase T-bar, which takes you over to the Glacier Bowl, which is incredible. Or on the top of Glacier Chair, there's also a short hike. It's called Spanky's Ladder, and it takes you to like a bunch of different bowls. That is pretty like expert terrain, so maybe go there with somebody else. But yeah, lots of fun places to explore on Blackcomb. El Stacker is dropping some potatoes into the chat. Awesome, thank you, El Stacker. Outflux wants to know, how much are the lift passes in Whistler? I don't know, to be honest. I think the season pass, is 1,300 Canadian, and I don't know what the day passes are, to be honest. They're like $150 to $200 Canadian a day, I think. That's another thing, actually, I wanted to ask you guys is, are you guys getting the Veil Pass, the Epic Pass, or the Icon Pass, or no passes? For myself, like I'm actually not sure what pass to get, or to not get any passes at all and just do day tickets. Because I want to like kind of go to some different places, and not necessarily all of them are on the Icon or Epic. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you're just going to do daily tickets or buy one of those tickets. One concern I have about buying another season pass is the last 2 years in Whistler, the season has been cut short by a few months, and like I'm wary of buying another Epic Pass because of the season getting cut short again. So let me know what you guys are doing. Chuck Van with the super chat says, I'll be waiting around for the stash review and maintenance video. Should also be the first item on the season's gear list, in my opinion. Sweet, Chuck. Yeah, definitely. So stash update, yeah, it's coming along. So I just get the trimmers out, and I kind of like just trim it along my upper lip, and then try to shave the facial hair as short as it can get. Not with the razor, but just with like the clippers. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of a fun look. It feels nice. It's like feeling really nice, actually, this stash. Yeah, I think once snowboard season kicks in and I'm wearing the face mask and everything, this is just gonna feel really good and keep my lips warm, I guess. But I'll keep you posted. So far, I'm gonna keep it though. I'm liking it. No complaints. I do have like a tiny little brush that I use to brush it. John Heenan TV says, my bindings overhang about 1.5 centimeters on each side of my board. Is that okay? I contacted Evo, whom I bought it from, and they said it was fine. Your bindings overhang 1.5 centimeters on each side? No, I don't think that's fine. No, your bindings shouldn't be overhanging that much. John, what kind of board do you have and what size bindings do you have? Let us know, because your bindings may be too big for your board. Let us know the size of your board too. Size of your board, what model it is, and then also the size of your bindings. And let us know actually your size of your boots as well. Super chat from Jose says, I look at it like this. Whatever. Oh, sorry. My dog is barking in the background. All right, so Jose says, I look at it like this. Whatever you get, if you go to the mountain at least 10 times, you already made it worth it. Anything after that is free. That's a good way to look at it, Jose. 1 second, guys. I'm going to grab the dog. Jake, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come on. Oh, Jakey. Oh, look. Oh, this is Jake. Oh, good boy. What do you want to do? Do you want to play? You want to play? Okay, come on. Here you go. You want this guy? Want this guy? Go get it. All right, so that's Jake. That's why I have beach towels on my couch to protect it from Jake biting him. Hey, buddy. Hey. All right. Yeah. So that was Jake. He's 5.5 months old, miniature dachshund, and yeah, he's just been laying in the sun. I'll turn the camera a bit this way. There he is. Jake, you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube. All right, now I can keep an eye on him. Duragazik says, what stance degrees do you use? Does it change based on park, powder riding, etc.? Yeah, so my stance for park, it's like plus 15 in the front and negative 15 in the back. And then you kind of have just that duck stance and you can ride in any direction. So you can ride either direction. But if I'm riding powder, I'm mostly just going in one direction. So that's when I put my front foot at plus 18 and then the back foot at maybe like negative 9. Jake, what are you barking at? Emil wants to know, have you ever been snowboarding in Verbier? Really good place, especially for free ride. Not yet. Would love to check out Verbier though. Jake, what are you barking at? Oh, John Heenan TV says he has size 10.5 boots. Okay, that's good. And you have a GNU Finest 154 with Union Stratas large. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it could be that the Stratas are too big because they shouldn't be overhanging 1.5 on each side. I think they're too big. If you can, maybe you can send the Stratas back and get medium Stratas, because 10.5 boots, you should be able to fit into a medium. Lackey wants to know, does your dog understand the importance of snowboard live chats? He does. He definitely does. Where is he? Oh, he's under the table. El Stacker says he's so ready for it to start getting cold and snowy. Yeah, definitely. Here in Vancouver, it's pretty sunny and hot out today, but you can feel that like winter is coming. Winter is coming for sure. Snuggie says, very random. Have you noticed that Judd Henkes rides a villain and not a huck knife? Oh, interesting. Maybe the villain is the villain stiffer? I'm not sure. I haven't really compared those two boards. John Heenan TV says, yeah, probably going to send them back and get mediums. Yeah, mediums might be better. Because 10.5, you're kind of like right on. There's two things you could do, because 10.5 is right in between medium. It's kind of on the border of medium and large boots, or medium and large bindings. So I have size 10 boots, but I ride medium bindings like no problem. 10.5 is also on the edge of having like a normal board or a wide snowboard. So you could also go for the wide version of your board. So if you want to keep 10.5. Hey, Jake. If you want to keep 10.5 boots with large bindings, then get a wide board. Come here, buddy. You want some treats? Oh, maybe I can bribe him with treats. Come here, buddy. Here you go. Treats. Come here. Treat. Oh, yeah, he's getting it. Good boy. Stay. All right. I'm bribing Jake with treats to be quiet for the rest of the live chat. Austin says, I know we've seen you ride out that timberline on Mount Hood, but have you ever checked out Mount Hood Meadows Resort or even Ski Bowl? I haven't yet, but I've heard such good things about Meadows and Ski Bowl, but unfortunately only ever ridden Mount Hood. So would like to check those others at some point too. Saturday Farm Stand says, wide board, better anyway. Yeah, it could be. It could be a better choice. You could actually, if you've got that overhang, especially 10.5 boots, it's like right on the border between normal and wide boards. And some boards are mid-wide too. You don't have to go fully wide. You could go mid-wide. So maybe check out, maybe consider going for the wide board. All right, let's do, Nick Smalls says, when do you start snowboarding? So it's going to be, I don't know the exact day. I think it's around like October 16th or 17th is our first day on the snow in Hintertux in Austria. So we fly into Munich, and it's a 9.5-hour flight from Vancouver to Munich. Meeting up with some friends, renting the car. And then we're driving for, I think it's going to be like 4 hours. So we're going to Hintertux, but we have a detour to go pick up TJ. I believe it's in Austria. I forget the name of the town. It's For some reason, I'm thinking Stuttgart, but that's in Germany. Some Austrian city. It's where they film The Sound of Music. So we're picking up TJ, and then we're driving to Hintertux, checking into our place, and then the next morning, I think if we're all good to go, we'll be riding the next morning. So I think it's October 17th is our first day of snowboarding, and then that will basically kick off the season. Like, there's no plan yet for a November destination, but we'll be riding November, December, January, all the way through until next April or May. Peer Room, Sanchez says, love your videos. Awesome. Thanks so much for checking them out, man. Snuggy says, sorry for the hard question, but do you know some good low profile boots that are medium stiff or stiff? I get toe drag when I carve with my 13 size 32 Team 2s on a 157 wide twin. Snuggy, yeah, that is a tough question. Honestly, I'm not sure, man. When it gets to those sizes, 13s, it gets tricky. That's kind of the that's like the zone of boots where you kind of get lucky. You get lucky to find like the low profile style. Man, if you can find an old pair of Adidas, I find that the Adidas are very low profile. If you can get a pair in 13s, that would be good. Or, man, it's hard. It's hard. Maybe try on some Vans, see how they go. But yeah, 13. That's a tough one, man. All right, Snuggy says, I don't want to ride a war pig. Why is that the wide one that you can get possibly? All right, so yeah, let me. Darius says Innsbruck. InMotion SLB, Salzburg. Salzburg's the one. Yeah, we're picking up TJ in Salzburg. Stuttgart, Salzburg, they kind of sound the same. Lackey wants to know, has anyone ridden the Burton Hometown Hero? Thoughts? Yeah, lots of, I have a friend in Whistler who loves the Hometown Hero, and yeah, it's really fun, sort of free ride paddleboard. It looks like really fun, floats well. Yeah, it looks like it's a nice board. I haven't tried it myself, but it looks really cool. Saturday farm stand, Orca for president. Nice. Yeah, Orca is pretty nice. We got Marcel watching from Seattle, Washington. Psycho, do you know when Blackcomb will be open for the season? Usually Blackcomb opens the third weekend of November, or like right after, or sorry, Whistler or Blackcomb. One of them will open first, and it's kind of weather dependent. And it's also the American Thanksgiving is basically the first weekend that it opens. But sometimes it does open early too if the snow is good. Emil, are you a snowboard instructor? I passed my level 3 BASI exam last season and thinking about doing level 4. Emil, yeah, congrats. That's awesome. I don't know what BASI is. Is that where did you pass that? What country is that for? Is that a European like certification? Here in Canada, it's called CASI, CASI, and I did have my level 3 in CASI, and it does go to a level 4 as well. But I never went for my level 4. It was just a bit. It was too hard. Basically, it's a really hard one. But that's awesome that you got your 3, man, and yeah, good luck on the 4 if you go for it. Yeah, and if any of you guys are looking for a part-time job, I think teaching snowboarding is an amazing like job to do as like a hobby or on the weekend, or even full time if you wanted to. Like that was when I was in my like 20s and I was teaching snowboarding full time, it was just like the dream job. I like loved it. I couldn't believe they're paying me to snowboard and to like teach snowboarding. It was awesome. And I kind of got my like first certification on my 19th birthday. And it was a tough course because I didn't know anything about snowboard technique, but I think it was like 4 days of snowboarding and learning, and then doing like, doing the tests and like showing the instructor that you could teach. And it was such an awesome thing to do. And even if you don't plan on teaching, I would say it's a really cool way to improve your riding, and also a cool way to improve your snowboarding knowledge too, because they go through a lot of different like technical stuff and just some of the techniques that work the best. So teaching is super fun. Dorota wants to know, how long did you teach? So I taught from when I was 19 until like 30. So I think I was like 11 years I taught. 80 people watching, 68 likes. Awesome. Thank you guys. Let's see if we can get the likes to more than 80 people. I mean, we're 12 away. Nick Smalls, do you have any advice, tips on toe turning? Yeah, toe turning is the hardest turn for sure to learn as a beginner. And it's because when you're turning, like, you almost need to like keep your chest, your board sort of follows your head and your chest. And it's kind of scary to go backwards when you're just learning. So the heel turn is super easy because the heel turn comes around and you face the bottom of the mountain, and then you go into your heels and you can stop yourself. The toe turn is tricky because you're turning and then you have to face the top of the hill and slide backwards. So that's the kind of the tricky part about it. But to make the toe turn easier, just come into it on your heels with like very slowly, and then let your board go straight and flat for just 1 second. And then when you want to get onto your toes, just think like, look to the top and turn and face your chest like to the top of the run as well. And if you can do both of those things and then pressure your toes, then the toe turn will come around like easily. Something that can help you too is like if you take your backhand and like as your turn's coming around, pull your backhand like backwards, like behind the tail of your board. And by pulling your hand back, that will also help to bring your toe turn around. So try those two things. Start off slow, make sure you let your board go straight, don't rush the turn, and then look to the top and face your chest to the top. So Dorota wants to know, why stop? So why did I stop teaching? So because of the YouTube channel. Once the YouTube channel started to make a little bit of money, enough that I could, like pay my rent and buy food, then I stopped teaching and just focused 100% on YouTube. Mia says, I'm at boarding school, so I have no choice if I want to snowboard. Nice, Mia. You're at that kind of boarding school? I feel like boarding schools are sometimes like more a bit strict and harsh, but maybe you're at like a snowboarding school. Keon says, I want to buy my first owned snowboard this winter. I snowboard for 10 years now. So you think a soft freestyle board would be the best? I snowboard in Telluride, Colorado, and I love tricks on my board. If you've been snowboarding for 10 years, then maybe you don't need to go with the traditional like first board setup. But yeah, if you like tricks, definitely get a twin park board. It kind of depends. If you're more leaning towards the beginner intermediate in snowboard tricks, then I would say something softer, and maybe something that rockers out towards the nose and tail. But if you are really good in the park because you've been riding for 10 years, then maybe get like a more aggressive, stiffer park board. But yeah, it's your call, man. That's awesome that you're going to pick up your first board. All right, sweet guys. So been on here for an hour. Gonna hop off, but thank you guys for the super chats, for the likes. Thank you guys for coming on to hang out. I hope some of my answers to your questions were helpful. And yeah, stay tuned. So I'll be coming back live next Sunday. Gonna keep these live videos rolling every Sunday, and we'll also have we'll get some of those short videos out through the week, and hopefully next Sunday too I'll have be able to share with you guys more of my plans for the season and just what's happening with the channel. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out, and I'll see you guys next week. Later.